We continue our City News exclusive investigation into stunning allegations being leveled tonight against Peel's police chief.
And those allegations stem from a Peel police shooting at this Mississauga townhouse complex in March 2015 that left one man dead and an innocent woman injured.
And Cynthia, that innocent woman is behind this, a $21 million lawsuit that's been filed against Peel Police, but more specifically against its chief. Among the many allegations in this statement of claim is that Chief Jennifer Evans came to this Mississauga hospital and paid her a middle-of-the-night bedside visit at the hospital before the SIU interviewed her and left behind a key piece of evidence in this claim. That's her cell phone number.
Yeah, she wrote it on there.
This is the business card of Police Chief Jennifer Evans. The lawsuit filed in Brampton this afternoon alleges the chief herself personally gave it to a young woman laying in a hospital bed just hours after a stray police bullet struck her in the back. At the top of the card is a handwritten phone number we've blurred. It's alleged the chief told the victim her future career in policing was all but guaranteed. Keep in mind, it's claimed that this was in the middle of the night and before that victim spoke to the SIU. And here's what happened when I called that number.
Jennifer Evans speaking.
Oh, hello, Chief Evans?
Yes?
Hello, it's Avery Haynes calling from City News.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good.
I'm just calling to ask you about whether you're aware of this $21 million lawsuit that you've been named in.
No, you have to be more specific.
It's involving the case of Suzanne Zreek, the woman who was hit by a stray police bullet back in March of 2015 on Queen Frederica.
Yes, I think the Police Services Board and myself probably would have been named in that, yes.
And she's alleging that you went to her hospital bed in the middle of the night shortly after the shooting and gave her your...
I can't comment on this because it's before the courts, right? So...
Is there anything that you can say about the allegations that you went to the hospital bed, that you interfered with the SIU investigation by sort of letting...
No, you know what? I'm not going to comment, so, okay? Thank you.
And the business card, you did, though, give that to her? Now, the young woman in that hospital bed allegedly handed the business card is a woman named Suzanne Zreek. She was in the midst of a police foundations course at Humber College when she got caught in the crossfire of a police shooting. It was a chaotic night in March of 2015 when Peel police opened fire in this confined Mississauga complex, responding to a neighbor dispute complaint from some 5 hours earlier. Peel police officers fired off 19 bullets, 11 hitting and killing their target, a man named Mark Akemba Bawekwa. 8 other police bullets went whizzing through the neighborhood, one hitting a fellow officer who was wearing a bulletproof vest, another coming through this kitchen window and lodging in Suzanne Zreek's back. The SIU cleared all officers of any wrongdoing, but this $21 million lawsuit has many troubling allegations, including that just hours after being rushed to hospital, Suzanne got a middle-of-the-night bedside visit from the chief of police, who somehow knew she was in the midst of a policing course at college.
There is a business card from Chief Evans upon which she hand-wrote her cell phone number, advising the client that if she needed anything at all, she could contact her, and the chief would try to help her out.
The suit also alleges that the chief knowingly and deliberately misled the SIU by claiming Suzanne's injuries were minor so the SIU would not interview her. It says a police guard was stationed outside Suzanne's hospital bed, that her father was refused access to his vehicle so he couldn't go to the hospital to pick up his daughter, and that Suzanne was then driven by police to 12 Division to be interrogated. Your allegation is that Peel Police, in complete disregard for SIU protocols, took this woman into 12 Division and interrogated her about an investigation that they should have nothing to do with.
She wasn't even properly dressed. They wouldn't even let her go home to get clothes. They had her wear prisoner's shoes, which they gave to her at the station because she didn't even have shoes otherwise. So it's just unconscionable.
The still unproven claim accuses officers of a 2-hour interrogation that was geared toward exculpating the police to clear them of any wrongdoing.
Anybody who looks at this has got to be troubled. I expect that we're going to get an extraordinary degree of pushback from the law firms representing the chief, the Peel Regional Police.
Now, another interesting aspect, allegation in this statement of claims is that one of the officers who fired bullets that night was a probationary officer, the daughter of a recently retired Peel superintendent who had close ties to Chief Evans, that this officer was improperly trained, that she had failed her firearms qualification and should not even have been carrying a gun that night. Again, these are all just allegations. They have not been proven in court. Peel Police would not make an official statement saying this is before the courts, but both Peel and the chief and the officers named in this claim have 20 days to respond.
Peel Police Board calls emergency meeting in wake of $21 million lawsuit against Chief and others. Peel Police Board Chair Amrika Ahluwalia says an emergency board meeting has been called to address a $21 million lawsuit against the Chief and others. By Sangarul Urban Affairs reporter Thursday, December 15, 2016, Peel Region's Police Board has called an emergency meeting to deal with a $21 million lawsuit launched against Chief Jennifer Evans and several other officers. Board Chairman Amrika Ahluwalia, who told the Star about the meeting on Wednesday, would not rule out an internal investigation into the chief's alleged conduct after a woman standing in her townhouse kitchen was hit by a stray bullet fired by a Peel officer responding to a nearby incident. The lawsuit alleges Evans all but guaranteed the victim, Suzanne Zriak, who was a second-year Police Foundation student in college, a future in policing when the chief visited her hospital room shortly after the shooting. The board is taking this very seriously, Ahluwalia said, acknowledging that the board is also named in the lawsuit, but, he added, only because it is Evans' employer. A number of other Peel police officers are named in the lawsuit, which was filed by Zriak in Brampton's Superior Court Friday. The allegations made in the lawsuit, which seeks damages for assault and battery and negligence causing bodily harm, among other things, have not been tested in court. We have a special meeting called. The board is meeting with our solicitors. We take this so seriously that we have called a special meeting at this time, just before Christmas, when people are away, to talk about the lawsuit, how we are going to deal with it, because we have to address it, Ahluwalia said. That's the message I want to leave with people, that we are taking this very seriously, and to call a special meeting on such a short notice is an indication of that. In a statement emailed to the Star Wednesday, Evans said these allegations are without merit, and we will defend the matter vigorously in court. We are restricted from discussing the evidence, which makes it difficult to get an accurate picture of what occurred, she added. The lawsuit alleges that Evans knew at the material time the plaintiff was suffering from a gunshot wound inflicted by an officer under her command, and that any dealings with her should only be conducted by investigators of the Special Investigations Unit, according to Zriak's statement of claim. Peel officers fired 19 bullets on Queen Frederica Doctor in Mississauga on March 20, 2015. 11 struck Mark Akampabokwa, who was reportedly approaching officers with a kitchen knife. One of the bullets hit Zriak, who was in her kitchen cutting a lime at the time. She was never told which officer was responsible for firing the shot that struck her. The lawsuit also names as defendants 3 police officers, Brendan Derry, Adam Payment and Jennifer White, who, according to the lawsuit, were on scene that night and fired at Akampabokwa, 22, who died shortly after. Ontario's police watchdog, the Special Investigations Unit, which investigates police encounters that result in death, serious injury or alleged sexual assault, cleared the officers of any criminal wrongdoing. Zriak alleges Evans visited her in hospital hours after she had been shot and assured her she would do whatever she could to help with her career goals. The chief allegedly gave Zriak her business card with her personal telephone number handwritten on it, according to the lawsuit. Asked if the board might conduct its own internal investigation into the allegations against Evans, Ahluwalia said, "We want to put our collective heads together. We will have our counsel there. So we're going to look at what options we have, how do we proceed forward." With from Jacques Gallant and Torstar News Service. More on TheStar.com files. KENNETH, Peel Police Board Chair says force belongs to the PUBLOCK. KENNETH, Peel Police Board Chair says force belongs to the people.